Alright, today I'm going to give you guys a detailed look at these two McFarlane Toys figures, and they are both from the Snyder Cut Justice League version of the movie, and it's Darkseid and Steppenwolf. And here are the two cards that comes with these figures. First one, we have the Darkseid one, right there. And then here's the Steppenwolf. And this is the non-armored, the chest doesn't have the armor on version. There's another one coming out, I believe is through Target, I think. The armored chest version is from Target, I believe. And then here's Steppenwolf. Alright, so let's start off with Darkseid. So let's get a closer look at him. One thing I didn't like is the armor. All the armor pieces, well, majority of the armor pieces are actually soft plastic. Even the helmet, everything that's blue around his head is a soft rubbery type material. Same with the gauntlets, those are soft rubbery, and then the skirt, same thing, and then the shin guard also same thing. So not my favorite, but I think I know why they did it. For the arms, it does help with the articulation a little bit. It doesn't limit the wrist articulation, but the head, that one I don't get. I don't know why they had to use rubbery plastic for the head armor piece. But whatever, it is what it is, I guess. And yeah, overall, it is a very good looking figure. It comes with a base right there. It's just a circular base, their generic circular base, and he does come with his staff, and that's it, nothing else. And here's the back side of Darkseid here. And let's see, when I first got this figure out of packaging, his right arm was completely off. It wasn't even securely attached or anything like that. I pulled it out and it was completely off, and it's weird. Right, so here's what the arm looks like. This little mushroom head, it's actually a cap that goes over another piece, which is a peg piece that sticks out. And then on this arm, when I first got it out of packaging, all that was left was that little cap. The cap, this cap right here, this is a cap that it was sitting inside here. And then I was wondering, how is it gonna rotate? How is it gonna keep in place? Then I realized that this cap is supposed to be glued to the peg itself. So this way, it has a little lip on top for it to catch onto the shoulder section and for it to rotate. And then, so that's how it works. I don't know why they had to create this extra cap to go over it. They could have, I guess they wanted a hard plastic maybe. I'm not sure. I'm not sure the reasoning. But I was able to fix it. All I had to do was glue the cap onto the peg itself, and then push this back up, and now I can rotate the bicep. And as for the staff, I would highly recommend you heat up the hand, soften up the plastic first before you put the staff onto his hand, because it's almost impossible to get it in there, because the hand is pretty stiff, even though it's softer plastic, but it was pretty rigid. So I had to heat up the hand in order for me to put the staff in there, and I'm just going to leave it like that for the duration of this video. And as far as articulation, head is on a ball joint, and you can see how far up it can look. It's really good as far as range of motion. And then shoulders on ratcheting joints, hinge joint, and it goes like that. And there's a swing forward and back a little bit, but not due to any extra articulation parts they added. It's just they made a little bit more room for it to move, that's all. And then bicep, there's swivel joint right there, and then you can see double jointed elbows. Can I give you more than 90? For this, oh yeah, this arm, for some reason the second joint won't move, so I'm just gonna use it on this one. And you can see it goes over 90 degrees. And then the wrists are on the hinge joint, and it does rotate around, but you might want to soften up the plastic just a bit. For this figure I didn't have any issue with, but for Steppenwolf I had to really use a lot of heat in order for it to move at all. So here we have a ball jointed chest, and then there's a ball jointed waist, and then the legs, your typical McFarlane Toys hips, and they are on the looser side, even though they're kind of ratcheting joints, but they are on the loose side. Same with Steppenwolf. For some reason, the bigger the figure, the looser the joints. I don't get it. And then knees. Oh my goodness, they're so tight. I can't even bend its knee. So, but there is a single joint right here. I might have to use a hair dryer to soften out the plastic. And then the ankles are on the ball hinge joint and torso articulation. So as far as articulation, it's doable. It's good as far as range of motion. But as far as accessories, there aren't a whole lot. It's just the staff and that's it. No extra hands or anything like that either. And I can see why they released this version first, because if you release them together, one with the armor and one without the armor, I think majority of the people will get the armor version instead of this version. This was a flashback version of Darkseid, and the one that's coming out from, I believe, is Target, with the chest armor, with the blue chest armor. That is the main one we see towards the end of the film. So yeah, but still, I mean, a very good looking Darkseid figure. And next up we have Steppenwolf, and here he is. And articulation wise, it's pretty much identical to Darkseid, so I'm not gonna go over all the articulation points because they're all pretty similar. One thing I do like about this figure is the head articulation. It is quite a good range of motion. I'll show in a second. But things I didn't like, mainly the joints. Like I mentioned before, they are all pretty much all stuck. So I had to use hairdryer to soften up the plastic in order for me to free up some of the joints. Here's a closer look at Steppenwolf, and I really like the head sculpt. The face sculpt, look at that, it looks very good. And I was surprised that the eyes are perfectly centered too, so they're nice. They're painted nicely. I'm happy, very happy with this figure. These are the spikes that are on him. Personally, I preferred him without the spikes. That would have been nice, but we didn't get that, so it's alright. Here's the axe. Another thing I didn't like is the handle for the axe is a little softer. Same with Darkseid. The plastic is a little bit softer, so it does tend to warp while in packaging, or when you just have him holding the weapon for a long time, it will sag. So that's annoying. And there's the rest of him, and he does not come with this translucent base. He comes with those regular generic base, but I figure I'll just put him on this one. It's more stable because his feet are so tiny, and he does have toes articulation too. They're individually articulated, so that's nice. And with the articulation, this one is also very loose around the hips. Same with Darkseid, but everywhere else is pretty sturdy and stiff. And here's a good look at him from the back. And I believe this figure can use a better wash. You can see the torso section, especially the chest and the back side. They aren't really as I would prefer a better wash than what we have gotten, because the arms are definitely darker and the legs are definitely darker. That skirt and everywhere else is definitely darker than the chest area. So I wish they added a better wash or another wash to deepen up the lines a little bit. And here's that axe he's holding. With this one, I didn't have to use a hairdryer. Just basically shoved it from the back end all the way up, and I was able to get him to hold a weapon. But it is tight, so if you want it, you're welcome to soften up the hand with a hairdryer first before you put the weapon on. That'll work too. Get another angle. Oh, Steppenwolf. Really nice. Even the body proportion. I just rewatched Justice League, the Snyder Cut again, and the body proportion of this figure is very accurate to the film version. Because the shoulder, they do tend to swing forward, hunch forward a little bit, just like how they had it, how he had it in the film. Those shoulders, like it's coming towards you a little bit more, and that's exactly how it looked in the film, so very happy about that. And yeah, scale wise, and I think he's accurate as far as scale wise, but yeah, proportion wise, again, it's very good. And as far as height is concerned, let's see, he is about 9 inches in height. They're both about 9 inches in height, give or take a 0.25 inches. So yeah, roughly between 9 to 9.25 inches in height. And how they stack up with Justice League characters, let's see. Alright, so I'm just going to use Flash as an example, and here Steppenwolf and Darkseid, and you can see the left Flash is the SHF, and the right Flash is the McFarlane toys. So it goes up to about his chest area. I'm not sure whether that's accurate or not. Most likely it is. And if you have the SHF team, then they might look a little bit oversized compared to the Justice League characters from SHF, because they are a lot smaller. And yeah, scale wise, yeah, it's a huge difference between McFarlane and SHF. And at the end of the day, are they worth getting? They are, I believe they are, let me see. And I got them through Amazon. They were $40 each. Are they worth it? Double the price of regular figures from McFarlane Toys. Yes, 2 characters are so awesome in the film that I am happy to have to add them to my collection, and they turned out great, and happy with the articulation, everything else. Yeah, the sculpts, the comparison and all that stuff. I'm just happy that I have these 2 in my collection, and they'll fit in just fine for me, at least. So there you go. Thanks for watching.